Hello, fellow captains, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've been trying to get back into the game for a little bit. I have a few videos where I'm just kind of blundering around trying to get back into this, but I'm kind of tired of just randomly doing things, and I decided why not hop into one of these bush flights that are available. So we're going to do the Northeast Megalopolis flight. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop ourselves up into the air, so that we actually have something to do other than just randomly doing ridiculousness. So I didn't even really pay attention to what plane we're flying. I know it's a twin-engine plane. I should have looked all that information up before we popped into this, but I'm at the end of a very long day and I'm not really paying attention. So let's get up in the air. I think this has a landing gear, right? Yeah. All right. Cool. And then let's get our pitch to where it's actually our pitch trimmed to, so it'll actually climb. Here we go. All right, cool. Let me get down here. Let's minimize that for now because I want to get to. Let's see, flight director. I'm sorry, I want it on the nav. I want it on the nav setting. The nav setting, and then we're going to go ahead and autopilot that. And let's get our altitude set to, say, I don't know. What heading are we going? We're basically going more towards the east. Easterners are odd, so we need to be at like 3,500, I think. Or, 1,500 is probably good. So let's do that. So we'll set that, and then we'll get our vertical speed. Forget how to do that again. Oh, vertical speed up and down. Here we go. 700 feet a minute. I don't know what the optimal. I'm going to pop this up to say 1,200. I don't know what the optimum speed for this aircraft is. I don't remember. I don't remember how to get to the exterior camera either. So 0 seems to be a really good place to look, though. Okay, so we basically, after lifting off from Portsmouth International Airport, pass over Interstate 95, then cross the Great Bog, sighting Eel Pond, and then cross over, sighting Eel Pond on the Atlantic's Gulf of Maine coast. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to say, but anyways, let's pop down here, USR 01. So this is our first point of interest. We're looking for Eel Pond on the Gulf of Maine coast. So I'm thinking that's what this is right here. If I could remember what the keybinds were for the exterior cameras, I don't remember. But I think we can actually just use this right here, right? Isn't there a... switch to the external camera. Here we go. Now we can see. Yeah, I think it's probably this right here. How about we pull that power back a little bit? I'm sure we're overstressing the engine at this point. So yeah, nice little view. I'm gonna try to stay inside the cockpit though, because I'm not a big fan of the external cameras. So let's look off, let's because you wouldn't be able to do that in real life. So I know some people are not going to like that. I generally try to stay inside the cockpit even when I'm just flying by myself. So that's Eel Pond. Next up is track the coast remaining just inland to the city of Hampton. So let's check our map here. This is going to be Hampton up here. So I'm guessing that's this up in this area. Depending on how much distance is in between the different places that we go, I will be putting cuts into the videos, but I mean, this says it's only going to be about 22 minutes, and I like my videos to be between 20 and 30 minutes. So maybe I was thinking putting cuts in would probably be a good idea, but at the same time, I think a lot of my videos attract a certain kind of viewer who, just want to listen to somebody talk. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just try to, keep my chatter going in between waypoints, and those of you who enjoy it will enjoy it, and those of you who don't will probably looking for something different anyways. All right, so it looks like we're passing over, what was it? The city of Hampton here, so right here along the coast. It's kind of nice. All right, well, continue following the coastline as the journey enters Massachusetts, enjoying the sights of the Atlantic Ocean, Hampton Harbor, the Blackwater River, en route to Plum Island Point, located where the Merrimack River meets the sea. So I'm guessing that's this river up here. This is the Merrimack River, and we'll be heading up to Plum Island Point. That's what we're going to be looking for up there. So I'm going to keep an eye on this river out here. I wonder if I can put this. I don't know. I want you guys to be able to read it as I'm reading it, but it's just it takes up so much of the screen. I can't really make it any smaller than that. So I don't know. Don't know. So this is a nice big. It looks like it ends in kind of a big bay over here. So that's kind of. I like sailing. I haven't, and I have very expensive hobbies, and I don't make enough money to do them. So they're more like dream hobbies than they are real life hobbies. But I have been sailing, and I do have my private pilot certificate because I used my GI Bill to get it. But I like seeing big bays like that because it reminds me of sailing, and I like to sail, and I miss those days when I was actually able to do that. I'm hoping one day I'll be able to get a boat and start sailing around the world. That's like one of the major dreams I have of, going cruising like you see all these YouTubers do. Maybe maybe that'll be my second channel. We get a boat and go sailing around the world, and I'll set up my boat so I can make my video games for this channel, and we'll record things that we do when we go to different places, and I'll have 2 different channels doing cool stuff, and maybe it'll make the kind of money we need to be able to afford all that. But anyways, we are approaching our waypoint here at Plum Point. So let me try to get a little more forward so we can see Plum Point Island. I'm guessing that's probably this island here. I'm not sure. It said Plum Point Island is what it said. So yeah, Plum Island Point. I'm guessing that's probably that right there. From Plum Island Point, stay just offshore to reach Crane Beach. So it looks like we're gonna turn off and be flying over the water for a little ways. Let me get back off of that a little bit so we can see our instruments and kind of follow that along. So, but I'm kind of thinking now, though, that there's a reason I didn't finish this particular. Oh, my microphone's flying away from me. There's a reason I didn't finish this particular bush trip or whatever it's called, because I think there ended up being a bug or something that I couldn't reconcile, and it ended up being a problem. So, I don't know. This may be a very short-lived trip. We may end up having to swap over to another one. I don't know. And then the other side of it is that I'm probably going to have to break these up into individual playlists, because I think there's like 20 or 30 legs in each one of them. So having one long playlist of a bunch of different ones, I don't know. Nah, I think I'll probably just keep it all one big long Microsoft Flight Simulator playlist, because I already have enough playlists on my channel, and trying to manage 10 or 15 more, if this is what we end up doing, is just going to be unmanageable. It's just not going to be manageable. So we're trying to get offshore. We're heading up here to Crane Beach, which, as we can see, is popping up. It's going to be that. I'm sorry. It's going to be. Looks like it's Crane Beach is going to be this little area up here. I know that you're not able to see very well because I'm running in 1080p, and YouTube compression's probably going to destroy it even more. But we'll make do the best we can. I'm hoping that at some point this channel will start making enough money that I can start upgrading my hardware, and then I'll be able to provide you guys with a much better experience. But, I have to get to the point where I'm getting that ad revenue. I got enough channel members that people are, providing me with the kind of money I need to pay my bills. And then once my bills are starting to be paid, I can have the extra to start upgrading my equipment. So, still got a long road ahead for the channel. Working on trying to get there, but the only way you're ever going to get there is by continuing to try. So here I am putting out videos and, hoping that it ends up paying off in the end. We'll see. I don't even, I wish I knew what plane we were flying. Does it tell me in the menu? I don't know. I don't know what plane we're flying right now. I wasn't paying attention when I looked at the menu. I knew it was a 2-engine plane. I think it might be a Cirrus. Does it tell us here on the dashboard somewhere? No, it's a diamond. A diamond. It doesn't give me the model number. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure which diamond it is. It's whichever the dual engine one is. I'll try to remember to look it up in between episodes. So here we are at Crane Beach. We're going to be making a left turn over to point number 5. But let's go ahead and just look at the beach as we approach it. And then I'll read off the next one as we get to our turnoff here. Can't really get any close. Oh, I mean, I guess that kind of works. We can kind of shift over to the other seat and look. So that's kind of nice. I wonder what happens if I look to the right. So yeah, that puts me back where I was. But that's okay. We can shift over here. So if we want to look at something down on the other side, that allows us to at least do that. All right. So I think we're about to make our turn to the left here. I really like having autopilot for these trips because it basically just takes you from point to point and you're getting the guided tour and you don't really have to do anything. All right, cross Annisquam Harbor to reach Cape Ann and the town of Rockport, which lies on its northeast quadrant on Sandy Bay. So we're going off in this direction, it looks like, somewhere over here. We're going to cross over the town of Rockport. And I'm guessing this over here is going to be Sandy Bay. Or no, I guess this would be the bay, huh? I don't know. This looks more like an island to me. I'm not quite sure. But let's get up, I guess when we get closer we can kind of zoom in. So I want to take a look at my engine stats right now. How far can we push this? Can I go full speed? Let's put the load at like 95%. See how that goes. I mean, I don't want to take any longer than we have to on these trips, but I'd like to stay down in the green if we can. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's probably a little bit too much. So let's pull the power back just a little bit. Try to keep it down. Let's try to keep it down below 160. That seems to be like the upper limit of the green zone there. I know we can go up into the yellow, but if we get some bad turbulence or anything like that, it's not going to go very well. All right, looks like we're turning already. So this would be the Rockport area. I don't know that we're going to be able to see very much, but that's okay. So, but this is Sandy Bay over here. Get my the stanchion's in the way, so I don't think we're going to get a get a good view of the bay because it's going to be turning us pretty far to the right now. Yeah, so we're not going to get a good view of that, but that's okay. So we need to head towards point number 6, which is going to be this right here. Cross over Cape Pond to reach I don't know how you say that. Gloucester? Gloucester? I don't know how you say that. On Cape Ann's Gloucester Harbor. Whatever that means, I don't know. But I think this is the harbor here that they're talking about. So let's get a little... Oh yeah, you can see there's like a building over here that probably has some docks and stuff. And there's all kinds of place for boats to come in and put into... Probably, I'm sure there's a lot of fishing that goes on over here. I have to imagine that that's the case. So yeah, we only have a few more points of interest. Number 10 is our last point of interest before we go and land for this flight. So seems like some of these are going to be pretty reasonably have a pretty reasonable length for them. So especially because we're flying in a plane that allows us to travel pretty quickly. So now we're setting a course to the southwest, skirting the coast by Manchester by the Sea, then passing between Misery Island and Bakes Island on the outer reaches of Salem Sound to reach Marblehead, which lies at the northern end of a small peninsula in Massachusetts Bay. The skyline of Boston, the northern anchor of the northeast megalopolis, looms ever larger and clearer with each mile traveled. So I guess we're going to see Boston as we continue south. Not really too much in the way of interesting things happening to the sides of us, so we'll just kind of keep an eye on things as we continue to head off in that direction. And yeah, I guess we're going to see Boston as we start getting closer. I'm not sure though. So we're supposed to see Manchester by the Sea, then a couple of islands. I'm guessing we're gonna be passing in between these two islands. So I'm guessing this is one of these is Misery and Bakes Island. I don't know which one it is. To get to Marblehead, which I guess is going to be this up here. Yeah, the northern end of a small peninsula. So this is a small peninsula, and this is the northern end of it. And then, yeah, I think that's going to work. And then ideally, Boston will be somewhere up over there. How much further do we have to go for this leg? I don't know. Did the autopilot stop, or so the autopilot going? Oh, I somehow turned my autopilot off. I was typing to somebody, and I thought I didn't have the window selected. I didn't think it was going to affect that. So, And they know I'm recording, but they still insist on trying to ask me questions. So, I don't know. Pitot heat is off. Okay. I don't know where that is on this plane, but we got to try to find it. Where is the pitot heat on here? De-ice mode. That's not an option. De-icing pump, ice light. Oh, here we go. Pitot heat. There we go. Hopefully that'll keep the ice out of the speedometer, or out of the airspeed indicator. Dun, dun, dun. I think we can push our speed up just a little bit because we seem to have dropped down a little bit slower than I want to be. I want to be right up there at the top of the green zone so that we're covering this ground as quickly as possible. I would like to get as close to this 22 minutes as we can. So hopefully we can get through it pretty quick. So it says it's going to loom ever larger and clearer with each map. I'm guessing this is probably Boston up here. I mean, we're not going to get any zooming by me moving in. It just increases our field of view, or ability to see things on the ground. There's no zooming in, but oh well. The only thing I don't like about these low-wing planes is that you can't see anything. Like, the engines are in the way, so anything that's traveling, anything that's sliding by beneath us, in the Cessna, you'd be able to look down and see it, but in this plane, you can't. Not a big fan of that. Okay, so how close are we to this one? So it looks like we're getting pretty close. Let's pull the range out just a little bit. Okay, so I believe that this is our landing area. So we're going to come over here, swing around, and then have to figure out our landing from there. But we are getting ready to go to point number 8. So looks like these last two are going to be pretty close to each other. So let's go ahead and read the next one then. From Marblehead, skirt the coast and then continue inland, passing into the northernmost part of northeast Megalopolis. Fly to the west of Boston proper to Cambridge. So yeah, we're definitely getting some city skyline a little bit over there. You can see the little buildings kind of starting to pop up over here. I don't know how many are going to actually show up. I've had to turn my graphics down just a little bit so that my recording software doesn't have any issues. I'm hoping that that's going to solve the sound issue I had in one of my first videos that I did for this because, you know, reasons. Yeah, I really don't like this weird checkerboard loading problem that I'm starting to have. I don't remember ever seeing it before, and I don't know why it's showing up now. It showed up in my last video too. It's clearly a problem with the game, not necessarily the fact that I'm recording. So I don't know what to do about that. But yeah, we're definitely getting a lot more buildings now. So this is absolutely Boston. There's no question about it. So we just need to get up here, we'll do a big loop, and then we got to figure out how we're going to land over there. So there's no communications for these flights, so I don't have to worry about contacting the tower or doing any of that stuff. We just need to circle around and get down onto the runway once we get there. So back off of this so we can actually see things and watch our GPS over there as we approach this next waypoint. Waypoint number 9 is going to be that little loop over to the left. So once we get pretty close to waypoint 8, I'll start reading off this last one. And then our destination is Logan International Airport. And we just have to land there. And once we land, that should end this particular leg of the flight. And it looks like we are going to get pretty close to 22 minutes. It's probably going to be a little bit longer because I was a little slow in the first part of this first part of the flight, but as long as we don't get any further than like 30 minutes, I'm pretty content with that length of episode. So we'll see. We're getting there pretty quick, it feels like. How many more miles do we have left to our next waypoint? Looks like 6.9 miles, and the number's coming down relatively quick, so I think we'll be okay. We're doing 160 knots, so I'm not very good at math, but it shouldn't take us more than a couple more minutes to get over to the waypoint over here, and then it should be a quick turn around to the left. So I have to tell you, one of my favorite aircraft is the Kit Fox. Like a lot of people, I think a lot of people like the Kit Fox. I think I think a lot of people think that it's a very cool aircraft, and I'd really like to be able to try to fly one of those in real life. I have the download for this game, and you know, it's fun to fly, but I don't know, there's a massive difference between flying something in a simulator and then actually going and flying it in real life, and I really want to go experience that someday, being able to fly that around. Maybe if I have my travel trailer and we're moving back into the travel trailer, because you know, if we can't figure out a boat, then we'll use the RV and drive around, and maybe I can pick up a Kit Fox one day and just tow it around the country and go fly in all different kinds of places. That would be kind of a cool thing to do too. But then of course, you know, if I can afford to buy a Kit Fox, I can afford to buy a boat. So it's kind of a quandary as to what path do you take. And I don't know, I think I kind of would rather get the boat, because that's I could live on the boat. I can't live in the plane. And it's much cheaper to operate a boat than it is to operate an aircraft. Cheaper to own, cheaper to operate, cheaper to maintain, you know, overall. All right, we're getting ready to make our turn over to number 9, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. It says, cross the Charles River to experience downtown Boston, including the skyscrapers, 200 Clarendon Street, 111, okay, a bunch of different ones. Boston is the most populous city in Massachusetts and is the state's capital. Its history dates back to the Puritans of the 1600s, and Boston subsequently played key roles in the American Revolution and the shaping of the country. And due to its ongoing commercial, educational, and cultural influences, it continues to help forge the United States and the world. All right, so we're going to swing around over here and check out Boston in general, but then we do need to head over to the airport, which I think is this over here, because it looks like, yeah, this is gonna point us at the airport. I don't know what direction the wind is coming from. Does this tell me? Does this tell me what direction the wind is coming from? I don't remember if it tells me what the wind is. So we're just gonna turn off the autopilot, pull back on the throttles here. We'll swing around. As a matter of fact, we're just gonna go ahead and do a straight-in landing here. Because why not? Because I have no idea what the wind is. I didn't do any kind of weather report. They don't really give you any kind of weather report. So I'm just going to assume that they lined me up with the runway I needed to be on. We need to get our speed down like a lot. So I'm maneuvering to bleed off airspeed. Get our flaps down. I'm maneuvering to bleed off airspeed. I know this is not a good approach, but you gotta do what you gotta do to get things to work the way you want them to. Get our gear down. Hopefully that's not too fast for it. Okay, hopefully we can save this and not have too hard of a landing. Oh crap. I don't know why this is jerking around so hard. I'm having to yank on it because my yoke is not cooperating very well. Ugh. All right, well, at least we got it down. That wasn't a very good landing, but I don't know. My yoke is a little stiff, so I'm having to pull hard to get it to even move a little bit. All right, well, we got that done. It wasn't a pretty landing, but at least we got really cool information, and, you know, hopefully you guys had fun. So be sure to leave comments down below. Click that like button if you had fun so that the YouTube algorithm knows that you did and sends the video out to more people so we can get a lot of people along for these flights. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your feed and you'll be able to follow along as soon as it comes out. And speaking of that, channel members do get early access to my video along with a few other perks. So be sure to click that join button so you can get a list of the different perks that will be available to you should you choose to support the channel. Again, thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you for the next one.